Good afternoon, students. Today we are continuing with the first class. In the first class, we learned mainly about the four important persons that we have to remember before starting any research class. And along with that, today's first slide also we have discussed in the previous class. That's mainly about the meaning of research. When we read different textbooks available about research, these are the different meanings that we get about research, about what is research. Generating new facts, relationships, generalizations, principles and theories. Researching to find in-depth or alternate facts. Activities and steps involved in finding an answer for the question raised by the researchers, gathering of data, information and facts for the advancement of knowledge, and the fifth one, activities to solve a problem faced by a researcher. Now, research is essentially a problem solving exercise. It's having a lot of steps also. But we have to remember, all problem solving is not research. We as human beings face a lot of problems in our everyday life. When we analyze, some of the problems may be personal problems, health problems, financial problems. Whenever we come to clinical area, we may face with a lot of clinical questions and problems. For example, when you are a first year BSc nursing student going to the clinic for the first time, suppose if you are going to an orthopedic ward where you are getting a patient with a lot plaster of cast, lot of pulleys, weight, not able to move in the bed, and you are supposed to make an occupied bed for the patient, you will get, it's a real problem for a first year BSc nursing student, whether I can move this patient, whether I can turn the patient, whether I can pull the sheet, etc. So how we solve this problem? There are several methods for solving a problem. For example, sometimes you will ask an experienced person in the ward, a senior nurse or a ward in charge, or you will consult your teacher, or another method is you will come back to the library and see what is written in the textbooks and to see what is the traditional steps or policies related to that. And there is another method called trial and error methods. We may try that also. We will try and see whether I will succeed or any problems will occur, and with the several trials you will proceed. So these are the usual methods of problem solving, but this is not research. Even though we say that research is always a problem solving exercise, because we are trying to find out an answer for a question, we are trying to get a solution for a problem, but there are a lot of differences between what is research and what is problem solving. So in this slide we are going to see what are the differences between research and problem solving. Research purpose is to reveal new knowledge, but problem solving, the purpose is to solve an immediate problem in a particular setting. And we have some research also like that. For example, we call it action research, is mainly for that. But there are certain differences between action research and problem solving. Problem solving, the purpose is to solve an immediate problem in a particular setting. Again, research is a detailed and accurate use of all elements of scientific inquiry, whereas problem solving, the same element of scientific inquiry is used, but not in that depth and accuracy. Again, research data are quantitative or qualitative. Now sometimes it's a measurable data we look. Sometimes it's a non-measurable qualitative data. For example, satisfaction of the subjects about nursing care. They're highly satisfied, moderately satisfied, not satisfied. It is a qualitative data. So it can be a quality or a quantity. But problem solving always limited to quantitative data. For example, there is a lot of infection in a particular ward on our ICU, may be related to the hand washing issues, that we collect only the quantitative data there. Then research data is analyzed using appropriate statistical procedures, whereas in problem solving detailed statistical analysis is rarely used, usually limited to simple frequency count. For example, this much percentage or this much number, we limit that to frequency count alone. In research, the control of extraneous variable is done. What is an extraneous variable? Extraneous variable means there are some factors which affect our study which are not directly measured or involved in the study. For example, in our class, you are listening to the class now. If there is an external noise is coming, that is going to affect your study. Maybe a parent shouting outside your room, or somebody is trying to disturb you when you attend this webinar or this online class. This is an extraneous variable that will affect your study, but you are not measuring that. So this is an extraneous variable that is purely controlled in research, whereas the control of extraneous variable is very difficult in problem solving, and it is not imposed also. Then control group is present for comparison in research. For example, we have a control and an experimental group, and we compare our data with the control group. What is the difference is there. Whereas in the problem solving, control group or comparison group is absent. Now in research, the finding is generalizable. For example, you will be collecting data from a small number, but that is generalizable even though you are collecting from a ward. For example, the data is collected from a ward. You can generalize that to the whole medical college or hospital. That is generalizable. Whereas problem solving, that is not generalizable. The findings are applicable only to the specific setting where the problem is identified and where you are conducting the data collection. Then research is a well-planned methodology is needed. It's a tedious process. It's involved a lot of planning. It involves a lot of steps, and all these steps you have to go thoroughly, rigidly, in a clear-cut manner. Whereas problem solving, we use flexible step. It's not that much rigid as research. Then research findings are replicable and verified. Now, if even we are conducting research using scientific methods, so the same study is conducted anywhere else, you will get the similar findings. That is the replicability, and you can verify this finding also. Whereas the replicability and verifiability is not present in problem solving. Then it is communicated to all members of the scientific community for utilization. As I mentioned yesterday, research we should communicate to all the members of scientific community, and after several testing we have to implement and utilize the findings. Whereas we provide information in verbal or tabular form to those in the immediate setting only in the problem solving. So you identified some problem with the hand washing, immediately you inform all the staff nurses in the ICU, you have to do hand washing like this. So that is the only information. The problem is solved there. So these are the basic differences between research and problem solving. Now listen, all of you have to write down your own notes from the PowerPoint. You have to write the meaning of research and differentiate between research and the problem solving. So when you come to the college immediately after the lockdown period, you have to submit notes not only for research, for all the subjects you have to submit. All students should submit your own notes about all the classes that is taken by all teachers. Now we go on to the next slide, where we can see the definition of scientific research. There are so many definitions are there in different textbooks. But from all this definition, the elements we put together, this is somewhat a good definition. And this definition is taken from a textbook written by Pollitt, Introduction to Nursing Research by Pollitt. And this we consider as an ideal book to read. And the copy is available in all libraries. And you have to read this particular book. Normally we refer this textbook as the textbook for the PG students, and there are numerous small books are available for UG students, but this is an ideal book. And we always, for the nursing research, we always refer to the book written by Pollitt. So Pollitt says that scientific research is a problem solving process using planned, systematic, objective, controlled and goal-directed activities to develop generalizable knowledge. So that is the definition. Now, when we try to analyze the definition further, you can see that research is a problem solving process, as I have mentioned before, but there are differences between problem solving and research. But essentially, always it is a problem solving process. So it is a process also. So process indicates that it involves numerous steps, and all the steps are interconnected, and all the steps are equally important. We cannot avoid any step, and we cannot proceed further without following a step. It's all the steps like a ladder. If you want to achieve an objective, to climb to some higher place, want to pluck a coconut or a mango from a tree, if you're using a ladder, now you cannot avoid a step, you will fall down. Similarly, nursing research also is a process which contains many steps. You cannot avoid a single step in that. Okay, so it's a problem solving process using planned, systematic, objective, controlled, goal directed activities. So it consists of several activities, and all these activities are systematically planned one. We have to go one by one. You have to plan properly. That is why we always say that if we have more headache in the beginning of research, you will have less headache at the end. But if we are proceeding a research without any plan, with less headache, finally you end up with a lot of headache and whole lot of mess, and you will not achieve your objective. So systematic planning is needed. You have to go systematically from one step to another step, and every step you have to confirm, you have to consult, you have to discuss, and then finalize without any doubt, any problem to the other step. So you have to plan properly. It is systematic, and it should be objective also. Objective means whoever read this, there should not be any confusion. Your subjectivity should not be there, and your ideas and prejudices should not occur in the research. It should be objective. It should be somewhat like equal for all. The concept should be equal for everyone. So objective nature should be there, and it is controlled also. What do you mean by control? Control means all the variables that you are measuring. What is a variable? Means the factor you are studying. For example, variable is something that vary from one person to another person. For example, in your study, you are trying to find out the relationship between height and weight, whether weight increase according to the height increase. So here there are two variables are there. One variable is height, another variable is weight. So all the variables you are studying, you need to control that, especially the variable you are studying. For example, you are studying whether any role for temperature in learning. So you are increasing and reducing temperature and seeing that at what temperature effective learning takes place. Here you are altering temperature. There are two variables. Temperature is there, one variable. Another variable is learning. And learning, we call it as, it is not going to change. It will change, but actually what the experimenter, the researcher is changing the temperature and seeing what is the effect of the change in the temperature on learning. So that's what. So here both the things you are controlling. At the same time you are controlling all the other variables that may affect. For example, the same time lighting can affect your learning, noise can affect your learning. But as a researcher, all these extraneous variable or external variables also should be controlled and put as a constant, because we are not studying that. We are studying only the effect of temperature. So this is why everything, all the variables, external variables, everything should be controlled by the researcher. If the proper control is not there, that's again affect your study. And it is a goal directed also. These activities are goal directed also. We have a goal. That is why we formulate objectives, we formulate the hypothesis, something called hypothesis, etc. before starting the research. It is always a goal directed activity. And finally, we want to develop, what is the aim of that? Generalizable knowledge. We want to develop generalizable knowledge out of all these activities, all this testing. And one more extension is also there in some definition: generalizable knowledge about the natural phenomena, about the phenomena that is happening naturally. That can be an infection, that is a natural phenomena. As I mentioned, learning is a natural phenomena. So all those things that is occurring in the nature. Our epidemic, new pandemic, is again a natural phenomena, and how we can develop a vaccine. So that is a problem solving. So the generalizable knowledge about the natural phenomena. So I'll repeat the definition of scientific research once more. Scientific research is a problem solving process using planned, systematic, objective, controlled and goal directed activities to develop generalizable knowledge about natural phenomena. Now, what is nursing research? So that is a scientific research. What is nursing research? Nursing research is a systematic, objective and controlled investigation related to the specific problem or practice of nursing, and that aims to develop generalizable knowledge for nursing. So that's an extension. When a scientific research is done in the field of nursing, we call that as a nursing research. That is the ultimate thing. Nursing research is a systematic, objective and controlled investigation related to the specific problem or practice of nursing, and that aims to develop generalizable knowledge about nursing. That is a definition about the nursing research. So from the definition, we can come to the conclusion that nursing research is done by a nurse researcher. Okay. The second characteristic is it is based on concepts and theories in nursing. And third conclusion is that the findings generated are used to develop nursing's body of knowledge and to improve nursing practice. So any scientific research that is done by a nurse researcher based on the concepts and the theories in nursing, and to use nursing theories and concepts in nursing put together as a conceptual framework, and based on that we have to do a nurse researcher should do that, and we will get some findings out of that, and the findings thus generated are used to develop nursing's body of knowledge and to improve nursing practice. So whether this study is needed for nursing, and what is the significance of this study to improve nursing theory and nursing practice, that we always look in order to consider whether this research is a nursing research. So that is the definition of nursing research. So today we have learned about a meaning refreshed, what is the differences between a problem solving and scientific research, and what is the definition of scientific research, and what is the definition of nursing research. So these points are important for examination. You have to note down these points and study these points well. Now next we will see the differences between or similarities between scientific research and nursing research. We can identify that there is not much differences between scientific research and nursing research. Only thing is, when nursing research is the natural extension of scientific research. Any scientific research done by a nurse researcher using the theories or concepts, and later we develop for nursing body of knowledge, that we call as nursing research. So it's not the difference, but it's only a comparison between scientific research and nursing research. Scientific research is a problem solving process. Nursing research also solves problems in nursing practice. Scientific research use planned, systematic, objective, controlled and goal directed activities. And nursing research use planned, systematic, objective, controlled and goal directed activities similar to scientific research. Scientific research done by all researchers, whereas it is commonly done by the nurse researchers. Scientific research use any theoretical background, whereas nursing research we use nursing theories and concepts applicable to nursing. Scientific research is develop generalizable knowledge, whereas nursing research develop generalization principles and theories of nursing. Scientific research interested in all phenomena, whereas nursing research interested in phenomena applicable to nursing. Then scientific research application for welfare of general community, whereas nursing research utilizes mainly for improving nursing practice. So it's only a comparison, not difference between scientific and nursing research, a comparison between scientific research and nursing research. So there is a question in all the question papers of KUHS, comparison between or differentiate between, a question is asked. Only for that purpose I'm giving this as a what is a comparison between scientific research and nursing research. What is the differentiate between nursing research and scientific research also, you can note down. These are the points.